It's Waking Up with Whitney on K103. Jimmy Carter update is with Reynolds Roofing Exteriors and Coating with offices in Cape and Marion. Go with Reynolds, and happy Friday to you, Jimmy.
Happy Friday. Jelly Roll's made a lot of news this year, but, he thought it was kind of a bad year because he didn't feel good a lot of this year. 70 to 90 days on antibiotics, thought he had to have his gallbladder out. Part of the tour, he needed a root canal. His wife said he went from dentist to oral surgeon to have surgery on his mouth, then went to the show, pulled up, walked in, walked on stage. He said, my mouth was still numb. I thought during the first 3 songs I was going to have slobber all over my face.
Oh.
Jelly roll slobber. Morgan Wallen, he had a little feud with the city council in Nashville this year. Back in May, this is after the April chair throwing, it's that he wanted to put up a big sign on his place. They said no.
Oh, okay.
And so they reconsidered now, and they've let him put his 20-foot sign on his building. So maybe they've lightened up on him a little bit. But at the time, they said, we didn't want his name associated with the city. So we'll see. Now, I used to give the gift of music to people, albums, CDs, DVDs, different things like that. And don't do that anymore because people don't really consume music that way. They stream. But here's some albums if you were given to somebody who's into vinyl or maybe still playing the CD player and all that stuff. These are mainstream country albums, not the pop country stuff that a lot of people like and a lot of people don't. So these are the mainstreamers. Number 1 would be Zach Top. He's going to get ahead of the game. He's going to be, I think, a bigger star in 2025.
Yeah.
Luke Combs. Father and Sons was overlooked a little bit because it just couldn't compete with the Post Malones and the Morgan Wallens this year. But people love him, and you might like this album a lot. Cody Johnson was an award winner. The Leather album was an award-winning album. It's good. It's real good. He still needs that one career song. He doesn't have it yet. He doesn't have that Friend in Low Places, or All My Exes Live in Texas, some anthem. He needs one of those bad. I'm not into Zach Bryan, but some are, but that's something you can check out and try to figure out what the big deal is about him. And then, of course, Cowboy and Dreamers from George Strait. I always loved him, and he's always going to be in style as far as I'm concerned.
I agree.
So those are just a couple of suggestions for mainstream country album. And then, of course, so many people are on concert next year. You can always give concert tickets, but just be careful how you do it because there are some ways that you can buy a ticket and only you can use it. So you just need to make sure you know that you can transfer this barcode or, because the fact we don't have tickets drives me crazy. So
I know.
It's just that's one of the things that's not thought through. So be careful if you are going to give something like a ticket to somebody. Just make sure you don't do it where you've got to accompany the person you bought the ticket for.
Right. Yeah,
and that would be weird.
That's true.
Particularly if they don't live in the same city you do.
Exactly. That'd be a little rough.
Well, ho, ho, ho.
Jimmy, have a super-duper weekend.
See you Monday. Bye.
Bye-bye. Jimmy Carter update this morning being brought to you by Reynolds Roofing, Exteriors, and Coating with offices in Cape and Marion. Go with Reynolds.